Oh, hi! Welcome to the TexasTiff kitchen. Today, I want to show you how to make my grandma's famous brownies that I take to all of my closings. First thing we need to do though is we need to preheat our oven. Check out this amazing oven from General Electric. So we're gonna put this on bake, and on our 350, our light is on. Okay, so we're gonna wait for that to heat up. Now let me show you the ingredients that we're gonna use today. So if you know me at all, you know that this is a very popular recipe that I do for all of my closings. So I thought it would be fun to show you how I make these. So ingredients are important, of course. So we're gonna do, start with our dry ingredients. So we need a ½ cup of cocoa. I prefer the Hershey's cocoa, not the dark, just the regular. And we're gonna put ½ cup of this in here. Okay. And then we are going to use, so here's the thing that people don't understand about flour. There are two main types of flour. We have self-rising and we have all-purpose. If you just grab something off the shelf, you're probably pulling off all-purpose. We use self-rising. It already has all of the ingredients in it, like the baking powder and the salt, so you don't have to add those things. So for this recipe, we need 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. There we go. And I use these canisters just for brownies, so if it gets a little cocoa powder in there, it's not a big deal. So 1.5 cups self-rising flour, and then we're gonna need 2 cups of sugar. Sugar is also important. I like to get the really finely granulated sugar. If it's too thick, then it tastes a little different. So I do like to get the pure cane sugar, but that's just 2 cups. Oops, as we throw that in there. So we have 1. And 2 cups of our sugar. Okay, I like to mix the dry ingredients first before I put in the 3 wet ingredients. Just seems to make the job a little bit easier here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you're gonna have little lumps in here, that's perfectly normal. It's also normal to make a mess, because that's how we roll. Okay, our next 3 ingredients are, we need 4 eggs. Now I prefer to get these fresh from my local farm, but they weren't open this morning. So we're going to do 4 eggs. I'm not fancy like those fancy cooks in the chef shows. All right, my grandkids love to poke the yolks on these. So as soon as we get those in, then we're gonna use 1 cup of vegetable oil. I'm not a big fan of this for anything else, but for the brownies, it does make them taste the best. So we're gonna use 1 cup of our vegetable oil. Okay. And then for just a little bit of that yummy vanilla, we want to put about 1 tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. I don't ever measure that, I just pour it in there. And then we're gonna mix this real good with a spoon. I don't ever use a mixer. I don't want it to whipped. I want it kind of simple. And you can see as it starts to thicken up a little bit, it's gonna get that nice, thick, brownie-like texture. Now you do not have to grease the pan on this because we just put a cup of oil in this pan. So it should have its own built-in non-stick properties. Now, One of the secrets to this recipe is the pan. And I love the air bake pan, but I just recently found out you can't buy those at the store anymore. So I had to get on eBay to find this now vintage. That's scary when things that you use often are now vintage. Air bake pan. You can tell this has been well loved. This is my favorite pan. And we are just gonna drop this right here. It should come out pretty easy. Here we go. And just spread it around. It may seem like there's not enough in there for a whole pan, but trust me, it's just right. This is a 9x13 brownie pan. Again, it's air bake, but any 9x13 pan will be fine. Now the trick to getting these the way that I make them, where they're fudgy and they're not too cake-like, because I don't really care for the cake-like brownies, is the time you're gonna put them in the oven. So if you want them more fudgy, then you wanna do closer to 28 minutes. If you like more thick cake kind of consistency, then do those a little over 30 minutes, so like 31, 32 minutes. Every oven that I've ever used, I always have to adjust it a couple of minutes, but that couple of minutes makes a big difference. So we have this all ready to go. You saw how simple that was. We didn't even have to use a brownie mix. We're gonna throw this in the oven for our 28 minutes, and let's see how it comes out. How are we doing on our temperature? All right, let's give it a try. So I usually put it in the middle. We're gonna set our timer for 28 minutes. And just wait for the ding. The best part is licking the spoon. I mean, I like the brownies and all, but who doesn't love good brownie batter, right? Our brownies are done. Okay. So when you go to take them out, if they're a little bit jiggly, it's okay. And that's how it's done. Super simple. Now we're gonna let these cool for just a minute. They will cut a little better if we wait to cut them until they've cooled off just a little bit. And then put a little ice cream, a little syrup over the top. Amazing. Thanks for joining us today on TexasTiff in the Kitchen. We'll see you next time.